When Apple announced their new Apple Watch Series 8, it was a bit of a disappointment and a bit exciting at the same time. Disappointing because there isn't really much of an upgrade when you compare it to the old Apple Watch Series 7, but exciting because some of the new features are, well, very exciting. Hey guys, we have the Apple Watch Series 8 with us today, and if you're thinking that this doesn't look all that different from the Series 7, then yeah, you're right. Design-wise, it hasn't changed at all. It retains the same 41mm or 45mm case size, and we have the same midnight color that we had last year, so it really does look quite identical. Weight-wise, Apple's spec sheet says it's still the same at 38.8 grams for the 45mm aluminum model. But weighing just the watch modules on my kitchen scale, the Watch Series 8 did register a weight of 39.1 grams, up from my Apple Watch Series 7, which weighed in at 38.7. It's really a minuscule difference though, so I would say that most people should be getting the exact 38.8 grams that Apple says the watch is. I actually didn't expect the weight to stay the same because there are new sensors inside, so good work on Apple's part keeping the watch light. Inside are where the changes are. We now get two temperature sensors for the new skin temperature tracking feature, one against the skin and one under the display to measure ambient temperature to help ensure accuracy. There are another two new motion sensors in there, along with updated accelerometers and gyroscopes that can sample motion 4 times faster than before, allowing for the new crash detection feature to work accurately. We'll go into those features later. The watch is using the S8 SiP, which is actually using the same CPU as the one in the S7 and S6 chips, so there's no real boost in performance to speak of. Battery life has also been kept constant at 18 hours according to Apple, which means you'll still have to charge the watch every day. Typically, I just put it on the charger when I'm showering at night, as well as when I'm having my coffee in the morning, and my watch is never in danger of falling below 20% battery. There is, however, a new low power mode that comes with watchOS 9, which is installed on this Series 8 out of the box. Durability-wise, it's still at IP6X, which means that it can hold up to dust, and there's no problem bringing your watch swimming and the likes because there is water resistance up to 50 meters. Let's move on to the software side. First off, let's talk about the skin temperature tracking. Thanks to the new temperature sensors, you can now do two things. For everybody, there's now skin temperature tracking during sleep. In case you're thinking, oh hey, I can wear this and it'll alert me if I have a fever. Stop right there. That's not what it does. This helps to establish a baseline temperature after 5 days of wearing the Apple Watch to sleep, which in turn provides long-term data and logs deviations from your normal temperature. So while it doesn't notify you about fevers, it does help to keep a log of your skin temperature, which then gives you insight about your body. For example, your skin temperature could spike after a night out drinking or if you're sick without the symptoms kicking in yet. Long-term health metric tracking can be extremely helpful and insightful if you pay attention to it. And what Apple is doing here is just making it easier for you to see any deviations that might be a warning sign. I did write an article recently about how keeping track of my health metrics with the Apple Watch helped me to figure out something was wrong right before I tested positive for COVID. So if you're interested in that, the link will be down in the description. Coming back to the review, Apple has taken this new feature and introduced basal body temperature tracking for women to track their estimated ovulation periods during their cycles. This does take 2 cycles to kick in though, so I can't speak to the accuracy of this just yet. Regardless, this is certainly a very helpful tool for couples who are looking to conceive. With easy tracking and logging of basal body temperature, it means that there's no need to manually take a person's temperature readings and log them down. The data is stored on device and encrypted with access locked behind a passcode, Face ID or Touch ID, so that's good on the privacy front. As for crash detection, well, that's something that I can't really test, nor would I ever want to. But let's talk about the tech that enables it. Like I mentioned earlier, there are 2 new motion sensors, along with upgraded accelerometers and gyroscopes that can measure up to 256 Gs of force. Additionally, the microphone, barometer, and GPS are all used to measure loud noises, changes in the car's cabin pressure, and any sudden changes in speed or direction respectively. If a crash is detected, there'll be a pop-up notification on the Apple Watch asking if you're alright. If you are fine, you can always swipe it away, but if there's no response after 10 seconds, an emergency call will be made to the emergency services in the country that you are located, as well as to your emergency contacts. Something that's very cool is that the automated call to the emergency services will be broadcasted in that country's language. So Italian in Italy, French in France, and such. With watchOS 9, there is a whole bunch of other updates as well. Custom workouts, heart rate zones, the medications app, and all of that. But what I like the most is actually the introduction of detailed sleep tracking, sleep stages, and low power mode. Something that the Apple Watch has disappointed me in all these years has been the absence of detailed sleep tracking. I even complained about it in my Watch Series 7 review. Well, it's finally here, and I can say that I'm very glad. The sleep tracking is very accurate, and I compared it with 2 other smartwatches, the Fitbit Versa and the Huawei GT3. Even before Apple's detailed sleep tracking came online, I already knew that the Apple Watch's non-detailed sleep tracking was more accurate simply by the start and end times of the sleep recorded. So it wasn't a surprise to see that the detailed sleep tracking is, well, more accurate than both those watches in terms of exact sleep timing as well as how often I woke up throughout the night. Low power mode is nice too, extending the watch's battery life to 36 hours by turning off the always on display and background health tracking metrics like background heart rate measurements, blood oxygen measurements, and some heart rate notifications. But that's about it. While there are some nice upgrades, they're still a little incremental. If you're using an older model, it is a massive upgrade, and I would definitely say it's worth the cash. But if you're holding on to a Series 6 or a Series 7, it might be hard to recommend spending 599 Singapore dollars or 399 US dollars for the Series 8. It's just not that big an upgrade. What's really worth the money is the Apple Watch Ultra. And boy, is that an upgrade. Unfortunately, we don't have one with us, so we most likely won't be able to do a review on that, but it comes with a bigger, brighter screen, much better battery life, better durability, and hey, it just looks super badass. If you're looking for the newest and the greatest Apple Watch in 2022, that's the one to look at. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the new Apple Watch Series 8. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe to us and like this video. Till the next one, see you guys!